Hey guys, welcome to Keana Sky Speaks podcast. I'm going to do a podcast / a reading at the same time. What Spirit has for you and how can the collective together, how can we avoid spiritual attacks? Because it's a big common thing that's going on lately is spiritual attacks and psychological warfare with spiritual attacks, which is a big thing. How can we avoid it? How can we recognize it? And how can we alchemize it and turn it into light? So, I have a few things. First, you have to, know what it is. You have to figure it out. You have to investigate what is behind this. What is the spirit behind it? It could be just a negative entity trying to bother you. It could be any sort of negative energy trying to derail you from your mission. And for a lot of light workers or anyone that's working towards a mission, negative powers, negative entities don't want you to ascend, don't want you to grow or evolve. So that would be that. So I'm going to ask Spirit with my cards, how can we combat, how do we, along with protecting ourselves, we need to make sure that we have intentions of where we're protecting our personal bubble. And we can do that with intention, with our own words, and with imagination, with visualization. And we can create our own reality with our words and protect ourselves with different things such as crystals. There's protective crystals like tiger's eye that really helps with protection. And how can we protect ourselves from negative entities? Well, we can stand our ground and use our words to create our reality. Stand up to the negative entities. Laugh at them is actually the funniest thing that I have done, and they've just gone away immediately, or the feeling and the energy just goes away when I laugh at it. I don't know if that works for everybody, but it's a thing that works for me. And stand your ground. Stand your ground. Stand up for yourself. Tell that negative entity with your voice, with your throat chakra, I am not going to deal with this. You're not allowed in my space. And that's a big thing that I've learned is like the best defense against negative energy. Right at that moment, just say, I do not consent to you being in my energy. Go away. Okay, so what else can we do to protect our negative energy in these times of disruption, distraction, political stuff out there, and actual, negative energies? Stay in check. Stay in touch with your emotions. Get in touch with the water guardian within. I got strong dragon energy with pulling this. The dragons. Just got dragon energy. Which I have just started getting into dragons lately. Just looking them up and seeing what they're about. Very protective energy there. So angelic, protective, guardian. So the way that we can combat negative entities, negative energies, and spiritual attacks is that we can get in touch with our emotions so they don't go overwhelming and invite in lower vibrational energy. I didn't say this. I only pull cards and I only channel spirit from the highest light, my angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. We can harness our mystical power. Okay? So too often we get gaudy, and I'm not saying like it's not cool to like be the best that you can be and like know your power and everything like that. But in moderation, we have to, if we like get our magic and we know that we can see past the veil and beyond, it can sometimes turn manic if we're not careful with it. And so that's when you have to saddle up with the high priestess energy and balance yourself and harness your mystical power. You know, you have all of this power. You found out you were a radiant, angelic, majestic being, and now you're seeing signs in everything outside, inside, and sometimes when you're not used to it, it can make you feel like you're crazy, but you're not crazy. It's just the balance is necessary, because I pulled Stand Your Ground, which is balance, and this is strong balance vibes too. Balance your energy, balance your spiritual mystical powers that you have found out that you have just been gifted with. And trust your intuition with the negative energy. If you're feeling off and adverse, it's definitely time to, maybe burn some Palo Santos, which gets rid of negative energy, or sage. Sage is good protection as well. Black tourmaline. So yeah, take note of intuitive messages. The moon will send in messages, the full moon. Protect yourself, on the full moons and everything. You set up gargoyles around the house. I got that in my head. I do have gargoyles. They're on each window, and I often salt my doors if I feel negative energy rising. Ears started ringing. How else are we to protect our negative energy around us, the negative entities, like specifically people, or actually no, specifically spirits that come through people, because that's what the collective has been experiencing. Is like, I noticed that a lot of people are experiencing people being triggered by the light, and it's exposing their demons. Ooh. So, specifically, how can we protect ourselves from this energy? And this is the last card. This is the whole point of the whole reading. The whole point. Through it all, no matter what, just trust and thrive that you'll get through it, that you're the stag, that you're protected already, intuitively, naturally, you're already protected. And I am getting strong Hecate vibes with the 3 spirals. The 3 spirals is the triple goddess energy behind the stag, which is natural protection. You're a protected being, and you will be seen through. So just trust through the trials and the tribulations. When they come, the best defense is just to trust that you're going to be fine. Example, just Spirit wants me to tell the story. When I was in high school, I used to go to church. I got driven in January, a lot of ice and snow, just kind of like this time of year. And I was driving. Well, I wasn't driving. My friend's brother was driving, and I was in the back seat. So was my friend. She was in the back seat with me, and we hit a patch of ice. We did a 360, and through it all, I had this weird feeling that we were just going to be fine, like everything was going to be okay, and we were. Obviously, I'm still here, but it was a very close accident, and through it all, I don't know how, but I just trusted that I was going to be okay. Through the negative entity attacks that we get, we have to trust and thrive that it's going to be fine. This was a test, and we're going to get through it, and that sometimes attacks will come, but we have defense against the dark arts. Just came up in my head. I don't know. My brain. Defense against, the negative entities and the things that come against us. So I hope this reading resonated with you. I asked Spirit, what are the things we can do to avoid negative energy attacks, negative entity attacks, and I pulled out the cards, and basically balance your energy, harness your energy, and trust through it all that everything's going to be fine, and it's just kind of like a test, and we all go through it. But we can avoid it a lot if we put the work into recognizing that it's an attack or not, and what we can do to solve it. I hope you enjoyed.